Today I'll show you guys how to calculate the tides using the simplified harmonic method of tide calculation. And this tide calculation will be done for a second report, and I'll take up a question for which I'll show you guys the solution as well. And the solution is a bit long and involves a lot of maths, so just stay patient and watch this video. If it's too long for you, watch it in sections, pause it, go back, understand every step of the calculation and before you proceed to the next. So I hope I can hold your attention for long enough for you to watch the whole video. So let's start with the example of a question. In this question we are asked to find the height of tide at 0920 hours on 23rd of March 2002 at the secondary port of El Kharj in UAE by using the simplified harmonic method of tide calculation. Before I go into the solutions, I must show you the extracts of the Admiralty tide tables that we'll be using. So you need access to the Admiralty tide tables, from which you will get the first is the tidal angles and factors for the harmonic constants for the month of March, and this is given for all the days, but we just need to focus on 23rd of March, which is the day in question, and the day after that, which is 24th of March. The harmonic constants are of course M2, S2, K1 and O1, and the values of A and F are given for each of these constants. Then the second thing that we need is the extract for the secondary port. So these are the standard ports given to us, and the time zone of the standard port is given to us. The serial number of the secondary port is given to us in question is El Kharj, and the serial number is 4247E. The mean level Z0 constant is given, and so are the harmonic constants given for the value of G and HM for each of M2, S2, K1 and O1, you can see here. And then the corrections are given for 1/4 diagonal corrections and 1/6 diagonal corrections of F4, capital F4, F6 and capital F6. Alright, and the third thing that we need is the data regarding the seasonal changes in mean level and harmonic constants for the secondary port as well. Alright, so these are the three things we'll be needing from the Admiralty tide tables before we go into our solution. So let's start with solution, and for solution I'll be using a pro forma, and that makes us our lives much easier. It's just a matter of then finding the values and putting them in the pro forma and doing the calculations. But the calculations take a bit of time, but it's pretty straightforward and easy. So let's start with the pro forma. So the pro forma is divided into two parts, part A and part B. So we'll be filling in part A first. As you can see here, part A requires the port to be filled, the Admiralty tide tables, which in this case is volume 3, for which we get the values of the tide for the port of El Kharj, which is a secondary port. The date in question will be 23rd of March because that's the date given to us in the question. The time zone, as I showed you above, is -0400, which you can get from the Admiralty tide tables. Then the first thing we fill in is the mean level, which is the Z0 value, which you get from here is 0.4. The line 2 is seasonal correction that we get from here for the month of March, because that's the date in question, as -0.1. So Z0 minus seasonal correction will give us the mean level, or the sum of the mean level. The sum will be Z0 minus seasonal correction, because in this case the seasonal correction is -0.1. If it was plus 0.1, then it would have been 0.4 plus 0.1. So the mean level correction is 0.30. Then we move on to the other part of part A of the pro forma, where we have to fill in the values of the harmonic constants for M2, S2 and K1 and O1, some of which we get from the Admiralty tide table extracts. So line 4 and line 5 require you to fill in the values of A1 and A2, which you basically go above, and you can see here for the days of 23rd and 24th the values of A and F are given. A1 becomes for the date of 23rd, which is the day in question, and A2 is 24th, the next day. Okay, so that is 24th of March. So for each of A1 and A2, we'll get the values from here for the harmonic constants of M2 and S2. So A1 is for 23rd of March and A2 is 24th of March, and we fill in these values in the tables here for line 4 and 5. Alright, so that's why I put the date there as 23rd and 24th. Simply just take those values and put it here. Then line 6 requires you to subtract A2 from A1. So A1 minus A2 will give you line 6. So in the first case, if I can give you an example here, 208 minus 233. So it will always be A1 minus A2. In case A1 is a smaller number, then there will be a negative sign. So in each of the cases, subtract A2 from A1 and write down line 6. Line 7 says you have to do 360 by n. So multiply 360 by n. So what is n? So I'll just made a note here. N is actually 0, or the smallest integer necessary to make the next line greater than 600 degrees in M2 and S2 and greater than 300 degrees for K1 and O1. So I said 3 degrees, but it's basically a constant value. So 360 by n, so in this case it will be 360 by 1, because if I do 360 by 0, it will be 0 and the line 8 cannot become greater than 600. So we have to make line 8 greater than 600 for M2 and S2 and greater than 300 for K1 and O1. So therefore 360 by 2, I'm sorry, not 1, 360 by 2 for M2 and S2 and 360 by 1 for K1 and O1. So that once we add the two values, line 6 plus line 7, you will get values of greater than 600 for M2 and S2 and greater than 300 for K1 and O1. Alright, so line 8 is basically line 6 plus line 7. Alright, so in this case, the first case, it will be 7 minus 025 plus 720. Alright, similarly 000 plus 720, 360 002 plus 360 will give you 362, and sorry, this should be 300, not 300, this should be 360. So this will be minus 027 plus 360. Alright, that's how you get line number 8. Then line number 9 is basically P divided by 24. P is nothing but the value of line 8. So basically line 8 divided by 24 is line number 9. So in the first example, if I can show you, it's 695 divided by 24, which is 28.96, or 720 divided by 24, which is 30, or 362 divided by 24, which is 15.08, and 333 divided by 24, which will be 13.87. Alright, so at this stage I'll just erase some of these values so that you guys don't get confused and it gets all cluttery. So I'll remove some of these values because you have gone through this. In case you forget it, just go back in the video and watch it again. Otherwise it will get very complicated for you guys on what's going on here. Alright, so should I erase this? Yes. So just go back into the video in case you get confused on how I got these values. Otherwise I'll keep going. Alright, so we have covered till line number 9. Line number 10 is A1. So basically a repeat of line number 4. So you have to get the A1 values from line number 4 and put those values here again. Then line number 11 is G. Where do you get the G values from? So if you go back up and I was showing you the extract values, you can see the G and the harmonic values for each of the harmonic constants are given here. Alright, simply take the G values only. So for M2, S2, K1 and O1, the G values will be 2593371777020. Just put those G values here from above. Alright, so from above ATT extract. Alright, I'll just put that note here so that you guys know where I got these values from. Alright, then line number 2 is basically A1 plus G. So that means line number 10 plus line number 11. So the first case is 208 plus 259 will give you 467. 006 plus 337 will give you 343, and you are getting the idea now. 284 plus 177461 and 288 plus 020 is 308. So just add the previous two lines and you will get the answer. Line number 13 says you have to write down the values of F2, and line number 14 says write down the values of F1. So where do I get these values from? So again, I just go back up and you can see here F2 and F1 is for the dates of 23rd and 24th for each of the constant. Alright, simply take these values and put them in the table below. So F2 is for 24th, F1 is for 23rd. So when I go back down, I have simply taken the values from above and put them in line 13 and 14. Alright, so again I'll erase some of these stuff so that it doesn't become too cluttered for you guys. Otherwise you guys might think you get all mixed up in numbers, right? Then I'll continue again. So we have covered line 13 and 14. Line 15 is basically F2 minus F1. So 1.06 minus 1.01 in the first case, and 1.3 minus 1.3 in the second case, which is 0, and 0.75 minus 0.74 in the third case, so on and so forth. Alright, so simply line F2 13 minus line 14. And finally line 16 is P by 24. P is in capital P in this case, which in this case is 0.05 divided by 24. Alright, so 0, and then again 0 by 24, which is 0, 0.01 divided by 24, and 0.06 divided by 24. So you get the idea. That's how you get till line 16. So when you finish up with line 16, we have basically finished with part A of the proforma, and we are now going to move into part B of the proforma. Alright, before that I'll just erase all these values again so that it's very clear to you guys on what we have done. You can always go back and watch the video in case you were not sure how I got these values from. Then we are now moved on to part B of the proforma. The first line is the time that you have to write, 0920. You can also write 0920 in decimals, so where 20 minutes can be written as 9.13. Alright, 9.33. Sorry. Alright, 9. So this is 9 hours 20 minutes, or 9:20. Alright, because we'll be using the decimal number later on. Then we start filling up the values of the proforma. So we start filling up the values for the harmonic constants of M2, S2, K2 and O1 again. So first value you have to fill is P by 24. P by 24 is not line 16 but line number 9. So just fill from line number 9 here. Alright, this is small p by 24, not capital B by 24. So just repeat line number 9 from above. As you can see, I have repeated it here, and we'll call this line number 18. Alright, we'll call this line number 18 because line number 17 is here. Alright, then line number 19 will be P by 24 times T. So basically take line number 18 value of 28.96. 28.96 multiplied by 9.33. So what is time? Time is T is time, 9.33. Alright, so 28.96 multiplied by 9.33, about 270. Alright, so 9.33 is signifying 920, so I'll put 270 here, then 30 by 9.33, 15.08 multiplied by 9.33, and we've kept it to whole numbers. Alright, in this case we've just kept it to whole numbers. Then line number 20 is A1 plus G. You know where to get the value of G from. G is from above, so basically 270. A1 plus G is line number 12, actually straightforward. I can write that instead of confusing you guys. So line number 20 is also a repeat of line number 12. Alright, so just repeat it from above. So you can see line number 12 is above is 467,343, 461 and 308. That's what we've repeated below. Then line number 21 becomes A1 plus G minus P by 24 times T. So basically line number 20 minus line number 19. So 20 minus 19. Alright, so this will be 467 minus 270. So the subtract line number 20 and line number 19. So in this case 343 minus 280. So the previous two lines. Alright, just subtract the previous two lines and you will get line number 21. So I'll just write down how I got these values from so that you guys don't get confused. Alright, then we move on to line number 22 and line number 23, where you have to write down the values of sine theta and cos theta. Now where is theta? Theta is basically line number 21. So whatever you get in line number 21 is theta. Alright, so let's say for example sine of 197 degrees minus 292. Alright, so this will be sine of 197 degrees is 292 minus 0.292. So retain the negative sign. This will be sine 63, sine of 320, and sine of 179 is not required, and this is by the pro forma, so you don't have to worry about that. Alright, so the sine theta of K2 and O1 is not required. So I'll just put a big cross here. You don't need these values. Alright, don't ask me why, because even I don't know. That's how the whole pro forma is designed. Then find out the value of cos theta. So in this case cos theta will be of course cos of 197 degrees, but cos values for K2 and O1 will be written. So cos of 63, cos of 320, and cos of 179. Alright, so you can write down these values here. So this is line number 23. Then we fill up line number 24, which is P by 24, that is from above, same as line number 16 from above. So just repeat line number 16 from above. Alright, then again I'll erase some of these bits for you guys so that you guys don't get lost in all these numbers that I've been writing and don't get confused. So what I'll do is I will show you here itself that this is theta degrees, so you will know, but I will delete the rest of it so that you can just follow what I've been doing. Alright, so I'll leave this here. You all know where I got these values from now, so I will erase this as well, otherwise you'll get all lost in these numbers. Alright, then I'll keep going now. So we are going to cover line number 25 now, which is P by 24 times T. So basically 0.025 multiplied by 9.33, so 0.021 multiplied by 9.33. Alright, so this will be line number 16 multiplied by 9.33. So in this case it will be 0.021 multiplied by 9.33, which is from the time above. This is 0.9.33, which is doesn't matter, it will be 0, and 0.0004 multiplied by 9.33. Alright, and 0.00025 multiplied by 9.33, the time above. That's how you get line number 25. Then line number 26 is F1. So F1, as you know, is from line 14. So I will write here line 14 from above. Okay, just repeat the line 14 here. Number 27 is F1 plus P by 24 times T, which is equal to giving FT. So basically you have to add line number 25 and 26. So add lines number, line 25 plus 26. Alright, so add the above two lines above 27. So above line 27 is 25 and 26, just add those two values together. So in this case it will be 1.30 plus 0. Alright, so just showing some examples. It's getting very cluttered here, so I don't want to write anything further. Alright, so have you understood till here? Then we'll go back up and find out the value of h, which is line 28. So the value of h you will find from here. This is the value of h for M2, S2, K1 and O1. Alright, find out the value of h from the extract above and then put the value here in line 28. Then line 29 is basically h by ft. So multiply line 28 by 27. So line 28 multiplied by line 27 will give you the line 29. Write down all these four values, and then we come to line number 30 and 31, which is HFT by sine theta and HFT by cos theta. So the value of sine theta and cos theta is there in line 22 and 23, and the value of H by FT is there in line 29. So basically line 29 multiplied by line 22 alright, and this is line 29 multiplied by line 23 will give you the answers. Alright, then over here we leave these ones blank, but we have to calculate these values here. Alright, these are symbolic values that we have to calculate. So how do we get these values? And then we put the answers here. So I'll show you how to get these values. So this value, the first one is HFT cos theta for K1, and the second one is HFT cos theta for 01 or 01. So you know HFT value for is given in line 29. So HFT cos theta for K1 is HFT H by FT line number 29 multiplied by cos theta value given in line 23 for K2 and 01. Alright, so get that value from there. So basically K2, this is K2, not this is K1, isn't it? Where have I written K2? Oh, I have written K2 here. My apologies, this should be K1. So this is K1. Alright, so what you do is basically get these two values and multiply it by this value and this value respectively to get the symbols. Alright, so HFT is given in line 29 and cos theta of K1 is given in line 23. So multiply 0.766 by 0.015 and multiply -1 by 0.046. Alright, so there how you get these two values. So -1 by 0.046 is how you get this value, minus 0.46. Alright, then we are coming towards the end of the proforma. So the end of the proforma, we have to write down the value of r sin r is to r cos r, which is line number 32. I have not left much space here, line number 32. Alright, so what is r sin r is to r cos r? Again, r sin r is the sum of HFT sin theta for M2 and S2, and r cos r is sum of HFT cos theta for M2 and S2. So HFT sin theta for M2 and S2 and HFT cos theta for M2 and S2. So this is, so when you add minus 0.063 plus 0.093, you will get 0.003, and minus 0.206 plus 0.047, you will get minus 0.159. Alright, so HFT sin theta for M2 and S2, when you add together you get r sin r, and HFT cos theta when you add for M2 and S2 you get r cos r. Then if you have the values of r sin r and r cos r, you can find out the value of r and capital R from there. Alright, so you want to show, I'll show you how you can find out. So if r sin r, I'll just show you an example here. R sin r is equal to 0.03 and r cos r is equal to minus 0.159, then you can just cancel this out. This becomes tan r equal to 0.03 divided by minus 0.159, right, which is equal to minus 0.1886. So you will get the value of r in that case by doing a tan inverse of this as minus 10.68. Once you get the value of small r, you can also find out the value of capital R. That's how I got line number 37. Line number 38 is 2r equals is to r square. So basically multiply r, this value, by 2, and you square 0 0.162 and you get this value. So this you get from, I am falling short of places, square of minus 0.162, and minus 10.68 multiplied by 2 gives you 21.36. Alright, then we find line number 39, which is f4 equals is to f4. Where do you get these values from? F4 and capital F4. Remember, I showed you these values, it's here. So these are the diagonal correction values of F4 and F4, that is capital F4 in small f4 and capital F6 in small f6. You get the values from here. Alright, these are the values. So write down these values here in line number 39, only for small f4 and capital F4. Then line number 40 is 2r plus f4, which gives you d4, and r square plus f4, which gives you capital D4. Alright, so 2r plus f4, you know the value of 2r is minus 21.36. Alright, and f4 is 0.67, so just add the 2. So 2r plus f4 and r square plus f4. Alright, so I have written some wrong values here, because of which you'll get confused here. So I must correct these values. So 2r plus f4, 45 points. So f4 is 0.67. So it's not 0.67, it's 0.67. And 45.64. 45.64. Alright, even I got confused here. And 0.26 and 0.304, that's correct. Alright, you get line number 40. Line number 41 is 3r is to r cube. So basically multiply 3 by r, which is minus 10.68 multiplied by 3, and then r cube is cube root of the value of r, capital R, which is minus 0.162. Alright, so minus 0.162 cube is this value here, and 3 multiplied by minus 10.68 is 32.04. Alright, then line number 42 is f6 equals to, or is to capital F6. Again, you get the values from above, the extract from where you got f4 and capital F4 values. And then line number 43 is 3r plus f6, so minus 32.04 plus 234, and r cube multiplied by f6, which is minus 0.004 multiplied by 2.303. Alright, and you get d6, values of d6 and capital D6. So this is d6 and capital D6, which is 201.96 and minus 0.001. Multiply these two values, d6 capital D6 multiplied by cos of d6, and you will get 0.009. Over here you will multiply d4, that is capital D4 multiplied by cos of small d4. So d4 values are here. So this is d4 multiplied by cos of d4. This is the cap. So one is a capital D4, one is a small d4. Alright, so the small d4 is 45.64 and the capital D4 is 0.008. Alright, then you also write down the mean level, which is 0.30 from above. So remember here in part A, we calculated here mean level, that's the value we'll write down here again. So to get the sum or height of tide, we basically start to add up the values from here, this line here to this line here. Alright, so we add all these values together, and I I've put all these wrong values here, so my apologies. Alright, so these values should be 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38 and 39. Alright, so add lines 30 plus lines 30 to lines 39, 30 to lines 39. You add these values, add these values together. So all these values, add them up based on their sign, and you will get the height of tide. So this is the harmonic tide calculation. You can see that it involves a lot of calculation, lot of numbers. It gets a bit complicated, so many people avoid using this. I'm just showing this to you because I was asked to show this calculation by one of my subscribers. I'm happy to show this calculation again if there was something that was not very clear to you guys. Even I get lost with all these numbers. As you can see, I was losing track of the serial numbers here myself. But just watch this video, guys, and I hope this helps you to learn how to use this simple harmonic tide calculation method. Let me know through your comments and likes on what you thought about this video. I'll see you soon with my next video, guys. All the best with your studies, and keep subscribing so that you keep getting notification about my future videos.